So over the weekend, during a Man City and Burnley football game, a plane flew over the stadium mid-match with a banner that said "White Lives Matter."
Can you imagine?
Yeah, White Lives Matter, people. White Lives Matter. And you might be Caucasian listening to this and thinking, well, what's wrong with that? White lives do matter. So yes, this is our time. We need to say that white lives matter. And to you, my friend, I say, seek medical help.
Go and fuck yourself. I said it because you can't say this shit because in your history or in your people's history, white lives have always mattered. So what is the need for you to be fucking flying a banner over a football field to say white lives matter? Like, do you have nothing else to do in your day? You woke up that day and you decided, I'm going to get my plane and fly that banner. Like, that's what's in my spirit. That's what you wanted to do that day. That's a load of crap.
Well, it's even worse. The guy, he paid someone to fly the plane, like a plane.
Oh my word.
He paid £600 to get that banner over the stadium. And he has no remorse. He said it himself. He said, I do not apologize for any of it.
Wow.
He said that he was inspired by the Black Lives Matter movement and that when I first came across this story, I was insulted at first. I have to say, I was really insulted because I thought, are you fucking joking? Like, you're actually going to do the most, a whole plane, a whole plane. First of all, you're totally missing the point of what Black Lives Matter is. And second of all, I don't even think you want to know the point. I think your point is that white lives matter more than black lives. Personally, that's really the crux of the matter. It's not about white lives matter, it's about they're more superior to black lives.
Important, they're more important.
Yeah, that's the point you're really trying to make. So let's just be clear about that. I think that thing was the ultimate trolling at its finest, because what trolls do is they just completely go off tangent, off topic, and just start making it about something that it's not even about. Nobody said white lives don't matter. That's not what Black Lives Matter means.
Yeah.
Already.
But I feel like people know this now. I feel like I cannot accept this excuse that the Black Lives Movement is somehow saying that white lives or other ethnic minority lives are not as important. Like, I will no longer accept this as an excuse. Like,
it's definitely not.
It's not what it is. It's just like this girl I had to smoke in the comments section on Instagram. I gave her that fire. But it's not about anyone saying that one life is more important than the other and another life. It's not like our slogan is Black lives are more important movement. Like, that's not what it is. So people need to just come off that. Like, if you're going to say that you wanted to pay someone to put a banner up saying white lives matter, I cannot hear the excuse that it's because somehow the Black Lives Matter movement is making him feel like white lives are less important. That is some rubbish. And you know it. Just at this point, just say the truth. You don't fuck with black lives, but don't be using that sorry excuse. It really tells me up.
This is the thing that I totally just don't get. And I think it's a narcissistic thing. And I like to think of myself as not a narcissist. Take that. But I just don't get it. I just don't get how you can wake up in the morning in your spirit, yeah? Wake up in the morning and go, white lives matter.
I feel like that's one thing. It's one thing saying, white lives matter. It's another thing and waking up and saying, white lives matter. I'm going to take out £600 and pay this guy. Like, do you get what I mean? Like, you're a fool. This man is a fool. Like,
oh my
he's
God.
an actual fool. That's what you wanted to do. You have £600 you can spend on anything you want. But you were like, no, there's only one thing I can do with the £600. You're bored. Go and sleep. Like, you're obviously bored. It's just,
it's like the biggest waste of time. It's
a waste of time and money. I just feel like, what did you want to achieve, first of all? And second of all, did you achieve it? Like, I don't know. Did you get what you wanted in the end? Because I would, if that was me, I would kind of be like, that was a waste of £600 indefinitely. Like,
Well, they got a lifetime ban from the club, so
And is this what you wanted? Like, I don't even understand the logic. I just
no.
can't find it. And I can keep looking, but I will still never find it because it's just the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Like, white lives matter. Like, I would
Yeah.
just like to actually sit with one of these people and say, explain why white lives matter. Because I want them to hear it. And then
Oh,
I want to tell them what Black Lives Matter is. And I want them to see how stupid you are. Because what you're doing is a vanity project. What the Black Lives Matter movement is doing is actual advocacy.
yeah.
You're just putting on a one-man show. That's it. Did you enjoy your 10 minutes in the spotlight? Was it fun? Was it everything you imagined it to be? Because you're a prick, the top prick. I'm just so outraged. If you can't tell, I'm extremely outraged.
I mean, on one hand, it's just actually stupid. It's
It's
beyond
just
absurd.
ridiculous. It is actually absurd. That is like the perfect word I would use. Absurd.
But on the other hand, it does reveal a very dark undertone of Great Britain, which is this whole idea of a very deep, hateful, racist attitude.
Yeah, like, we're white, we need to be on top. White lives matter, don't forget white people. It's just so aggressive. That's what it sounds like in my head when I saw it. It was like, even though it was just a picture, it's like that's the kind of noise I was hearing in my head when I saw it. It's just a guy just trying to make sure all the white people don't forget that your lives are more important. Like, fuck this, Black Lives Matter. Like, it was just weird to me.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
relax, bro. Like, chill.
it's hilarious as hell just to think that someone could even think that. But at the same time, it's scary because where does your brain have to be for you to even think that in the first place? Like, you are not stable, you are not well, you have no concept of knowledge, you have no concept of what is wrong and right, you've got no concept of how brains function. Do you know what I mean?
So though, for people who might be listening and thinking to themselves kind of slyly, like, yeah, but what is the matter with it? Do you wanna give it a go and say?
I mean, where do we begin? It's just layers upon layers upon layers. It's the Russian doll of stupidity. First of all, White Lives Matter has no basis because white people are privileged, as we all now know. So let's not even argue about that. We've seen the killings of Black people. We've seen slavery. We've seen systemic racism. We've seen Black people being imprisoned. We've seen it all. So if we are going to compare that to white people's struggles, I think we're going to come out on top in that regard. So saying that white people's lives matter, you've just got no basis. Furthermore, to bring that up in the middle of a movement, Black Lives Matter, it just goes to show that you're trying to counteract with something and you're trying to cause division. By you bringing up the other side, which you think is an argument about race, you're just showing your ass that you actually have these racist views because you're putting the two together and you're saying, yeah, but if they have Black Lives Matter, we have to have White Lives Matter. So you're showing yourself, you're showing that you only see this as a race issue and that in that race issue, Black Lives Matter cannot trump White Lives Matter, that there will always be a White Lives Matter, no matter what Black people try and do, okay? So it's just wrong on too many levels. And then to even go and get a plane, really, and the thing is, the footballers during that game, they all wore shirts. On the back of the shirts, it said Black Lives Matter. And I believe they all knelt on the pitch to show, you know, to advocate for the situation. So for you to fly it, just the symbolism on its own, and really when you think about it, it's really disgusting because it just shows that there's some sort of oppression. How are you going to fly above people? It just shows that you're trying to assert your superiority. Same way with George Floyd, the policeman kneeling on his neck. That's oppression, full stop.
Yeah.
Like, it's symbolic of the oppression. So for anyone who's out there thinking, oh, no, White Lives Matter. No, you need to do some further research, yeah? You need to go and cite some sources and you need to come again because you must be an idiot. But at this point, honestly, I think racism and being completely stupid go hand in hand.
They are the same thing to me.
They go hand in hand. They go hand in hand. Even if you went to Eton and you're like, oh, blah, I've had a good education, yeah, you're dumb. Because if you don't see that, the more this issue goes on, it's going to be detrimental for everybody.
Like, okay, let's just say for racist white people in this ideal world, all the minorities go back to like their home countries, all the Africans go back to Africa, all the Caribbeans go back to the Caribbean, all Asians go back to Asia. Do you know what I mean? It's like, where do you think this animosity is going to go to? It's going to start translating onto working class white people. And then when they get rid of all of them, this is going to be like fucking Etonites fucking trying to fuck up one another. Like, what do you think is going to happen here? Like, surely you at least have enough common sense to have a look into like foresight and your future, or the future of your people. But apparently that's not something that they like to do. But I don't understand how this is not something, I'm not a rocket scientist, but even I'm thinking of these things. Like, if white people have not thought about this, then I'm concerned for them. For
humanity, yes.
For humanity, or the white race, I don't know, because it seems like they're the ones with the chip on their shoulder these days. But
this is the thing as well. Yeah, an injustice anywhere is an injustice everywhere.
Everywhere, absolutely.
So if you're not, woke enough to see that actually, yeah, like, you know what, these problems might not affect me now, but they could affect me later, then I'm sorry, there's no hope for you. There's no hope for you. Because if you can't see that women, gay, lesbian, queer, transgender, all the minorities, if you can't see that this whole thing of having a hatred for a group is something that kind of moves through time and constantly changes from group to group to group, if you can't see that that's something that could potentially happen to you, then you've had no education, I'm afraid. You're so caught up in that you think white is superior that you just don't even see it, that you don't even see it could be you one day. Like, and I bid you good luck. I really wish you the best. I wish you the absolute best, because you're lost.
I don't have any time for these people. So if that's the truth that you want to believe, then I will wave you off at the train station. I wish you luck on that long, confusing, ridiculous journey that you're on. I will not be there with you, that's for sure.
I wonder what.
Can no one not see this? Just, I don't even know. Just confused. I'm just confused for these people, because it's just, you're just looking, you have fucking blinders on, like carriage horses. Like, you cannot see the full scope. You only want to see the vision that you want to believe. But there's other things that can influence what you're seeing in like your direct vision. But racist white people just trying to be like, nah, B, I'm just going, this is just a one-way system. This is what I'm trying to do. I am not diverting from the course. This is what I want to do, and this is where I want to end up. So no one try to fuck with my direction.
You know what?
I don't care. Like,
I almost feel like at this point, let's change the Black Lives Matter movement. Let's change it. No, we won't change it, because at the end of the day, it is what it is, and that's what it's always gonna be.
It is.
But can you imagine if the Black Lives Matter movement was Black lives will always matter?
I think that would be great. I feel like more white people would be kicking up a fuss even like that was the case. Because we're saying it's Black Lives Matter, and they're like, what? Just like freaking out.
Hey!
They will be having heart attack and
uproar,
brain malfunction. Like,
uproar.
What to do?
That's a hate crime. That's a terrorism.
Just like, uncle, please calm down.
Yeah, but this is the thing. They're trolling. So, the thing is, the movement, it's got dignity. Black Lives Matter movement has dignity. It has a cause. It's for a reason. There's more behind it than just coming out and saying some fucking insane shit. It's actually built on trying to restore humanity and the rights and the equality of Black people. It's a worthy cause.
Absolutely.
So we're not going to go, down low with these pigs and roll in mud. We're not going to do that because we know that we serve a worthy cause over here. But if they wanted to troll, honestly, we could troll all day, every day. We can all troll, you know, we can all get on Twitter and start getting Twitter fingers and Twitter triggers and whatnot. We can all do that. We can all start doing the absolute most. But the thing is, we know that what we're doing is the right thing to do. And honestly, this conversation we're having, let it be the last conversation to address White Lives Matter or All Lives Matter or whatever other situation is going on. Let it be the last time, because I feel like just giving these people attention is really what they want. Don't even pay them no mind. Don't even give them no time. Stop trying to convince people who don't want to be convinced. They will find out in their own time. There's no point. These are energy vampires. You don't need to give them any of your time. You don't. You can't fight with a brick. Literally brick dumb. Like, why are you going to be trying to convince someone? No, this is what I mean. Black. Everyone in the UK is entitled to an education. You can get it. It's free. Everyone can use Google. Everyone's got internet connection. You can get it. It's free. If you want to know, you will find out. Yeah. So quit fighting with people who don't want to know, because they don't want to know. They don't want to know. It's just a waste of time. And let's keep it moving. Black lives will always matter. So yeah, get into it.
Black lives will always matter, and White Lives Matter is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
I said it with my full chest.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone who believes that all lives matter or white lives matter, go and sit somewhere and contemplate. That's as polite as I can get, because I was going to say something else, but off the cuff, I just had to think of something more constructive to say. So it's not just like I'm out here just cussing out people. But honestly, it's just, I feel like if I wanted to say anything about this movement, this White Lives Matter movement, that honestly, the one thing I can say is it's just so ridiculous. And I can't even be bothered to even give it more energy than that to explain why it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And take it from me, like, I'm being honest and I'm telling you the truth. I'm not saying it to hurt anyone's feelings. I feel like I'm a competent human being. Like, it's fucking stupid. But obviously, if you want to realize, if you want to find out for yourself how stupid it is, do your research. Like, I wish some racist white people would just kind of see it from a different perspective. Like, see it from like a Black person perspective, like, on this. Like, I feel like if they looked into it that way, you must see that it's fucking stupid. Like, can you not realize? It's just so dumb. And that's basically that's my thing on it. Like, you're stupid and you're dumb, and obviously you did not learn when you were in school, because I feel like every normal person will see that one is not trying to take away from another. And White Lives Matter is not even a thing. Like, fundamentally, it's not even a thing, because it's always, your lives have always mattered more than Black people or anyone else for that matter.
Yeah.
So the fact that this is now a thing, it's like, but they've always mattered. So
yeah,
what are you trying to prove here?
Yeah.
Like, maybe if you didn't have the amount of privilege you had, I might be like, you know what? They do matter. But I'm just kind of like, there's no reason for you to assume, for you to not assume, but for you to feel like you need to say all lives matter or white lives matter. Like, surely you must know you're, like, in terms of like the hierarchy, like, as a white person, you are higher than a Black person or a minority ethnic person. Like, you must know that, surely.
Yeah,
but yeah, they matter. White lives matter, sure.
This is the thing. I think they do know that, but they want to maintain that. And therefore, by coming up with these horrendous slogans, they're trying to maintain that superiority. But what I will say is that I've seen even women on Twitter who are like, "White lives matter." I'm like, oh, how?
But you know what? For apparently it was like middle-aged white women that basically elected Trump into office. Apparently that's the highest vote was from like middle-aged white women. So
but the thing is, it's like, okay, let me break it down for the middle-aged racist white ladies out there. Saying white lives matter is saying, if you were to have a women's rights movement, you would have a men's rights movement. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So that's basically what it does. By bringing up something completely irrelevant.
Yeah.
That's what White Lives Matter is. Yeah. Okay.
I feel like that's a good comparison. But even some people will be like, yeah, and it's just like, at this point, good luck to you. Do you know
Well,
what I
these
mean?
trolls, I'm telling you, if I said, oh, it's like saying men's lives matter, they would be like, yeah, but they fought in the war. Oh, Lord. And then that's when it's like, no, you're a troll. Like, I'm not even going to give you the time anymore. You're actually a troll. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
stay away from me, Satan. Go and find your resting place, your final resting place, and just leave me alone. But anyway, Black Power, Black Power.
Black power. I'm black, y'all. I'm black, y'all. I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all.
Hey, hey,
I'm
hey.
blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all.